got it.
What is up, everybody? Another episode of Walk Off Talks with the man, the myth, the legend from Canada, James Smibirt. A great teammate of mine, a great friend of mine, and really changed my perspective on life. He went to the University of Mount Olive. He started out in his pro career at stints in the Frontier, American Atlantic League. From then, he went to the Quebec Capitals, and then he spent a little time in Sioux City Explorers, and recently he's with the Charleston Dirty Birds. James, thank you for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I gotta refreshen up on my Canadian talk.
For sure. We say A lot.
Oh, from AAA, are you? Who? AAA, AAA. Oh, AA, eh? Hey, I just came from AA. No, not AA, AAA. Yeah, that's what I said. AA, eh? Oh, so you are with AAA. Oh, no, that's AAA. I just came from AA, eh? Huh?
Maple syrup on everything, polar bear, stuff like that. Hockey's big.
No doubt. So, James, what's we played in the Yinzer together a little bit last year, and there was a few people that really struck me, but you were probably the one that struck me the most as an all-around guy, an all-around teammate, and far most of that like just very talented. And it's like really hard to get that. It's really hard to be a good person. It's really hard to be a good teammate, and it's really hard to be a good ball player too. And nonetheless, I mean, you were crushing balls from the left side like it was no tomorrow. And my question for you is that like what I really saw is that the composure. I mean, we're jumping right into it. The composure that you had, whether you're playing to get out of the Yinzer, and bad at bats came, and adversity hit, and situations came. How did you have that calmness that you had? Was it from the beginning? Did it happen in high school and college? Did you learn in your pro career?
I think it's just like how I was, how my upbringing began. Like I grew up, I was a shy kid. I was overweight kid. I was fat. I got bullied a little bit in school. Wasn't when you said talented in the intro, like that sort of pissed me off because I was never really one of the most talented guys. Like I had to work my ass off.
Yeah.
To like become better and better. And through like training and working out, like I was able to level the field as time went on. But yeah, just like through life experiences, like dealing with failures, just like being at the bottom. Like the first team I tried out for, rep team, I got cut, didn't make it. And then obviously I was upset, came back the next year, made the team. And that sort of just fueled me. Stuff like that. I always was treated as an underdog. So, and in terms of like physicality, hitting with the ball wise, I was actually a pitcher growing up in high school. Yeah, I was a PO.
Really?
And yeah, so I had a good arm. In grade 10, I could run it up to 88.
Yeah.
And then I got injured, hurt my arm, and then tried to develop it, get it back up, my velo back up, and it didn't happen. And I just switched to hitting and just worked my ass off, and good things came about.
What was so before we jump into like that, your college and then pro experience, what was your primary position after you were done pitching?
So growing up, all throughout my life, I played third base.
Okay.
And like that was my thing. When in Little League, I had the strongest arm on the team, so I could throw it from third to first, the longest throw.
Yeah.
And I sort of just stuck to that position. And then recently, 2 years ago, I transitioned to more of a middle infielder. Gives me more options.
Yeah.
For sure.
No doubt. So, you mentioned that like, you were pissed off, that I called you talented, and, this is a real show. We're not gonna hold anything back. Why, like, talk to me about, I guess your little league into middle school, high school, James, and then your transition to go to the University of Mount Olive, and that's a pretty good school to go to. Like, maybe let's talk about like your transition of, you were the fat kid. So like what kind of like pissed you off to put yourself in a great position? Because I would have never guessed you were fat. I mean, I was too when I was growing up, but like what, you were bullied, and then of course you have the love for the game of baseball. Was there a mentor that like said like, yo, James, you got to train a little bit more to in order to get to that next level?
I think I didn't necessarily have a mentor, but I was my biggest like critic. I'd
Yeah.
always like be asking my dad, "Hey dad, let's go out and like do stuff. Can you play catch? Can you hit me grounders?" He would never tell me to do something. I would always have to show initiative and to get him to do something. So right from a young age, like I had that drive for sure. Obviously, probably because of the failures, because it pissed me off because I don't like to suck.
Yeah. Fat.
And no one likes to suck. So how to figure that out.
But dude, it's not that no one likes to suck, no one likes to suck, but people just give up. Some people just don't have that mentality to be like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna take the long road. I'm gonna work my ass off, and I'm gonna change my future.
Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it!
And that's what necessarily you did. You were the underdog, and I saw like the prime, and you're not even there yet, but I saw the good raw James smack Smibirt, like, dude,
absolutely.
I'm telling you, when you were in the box, it was like, I mean, my eyes were locked in. All eyes were locked in. Like, yo, what is this guy gonna do? Guy from Canada, what is he gonna do? Like, it was just like it was so peaceful yet exciting to watch. So, like, what I guess my question to you is like, what transitioned you from high school and into your college career, like that next level? Were you in shape in high school, or did you have to get in shape for college?
So as a junior in high school, I was fat.
Yeah.
And that's like, screw this, I'm gonna get in shape. And I dropped down from like 235, 240 to like 200 pounds, 190.
Yeah.
I would just look at myself in the pictures of me, little fat kid, and I was like, yeah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
And then I obviously grew a little bit, so that helped.
Yeah.
And I worked out. I started working out consistently. And then going into college, I was actually probably the weakest kid on my team.
Really?
100%. I was out of shape. I mean, I worked out in high school and stuff, but it wasn't like in the States, like everyone's lifting weights in grade 9 high school, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't really get introduced to weightlifting until like grade 11, 12.
Yeah.
So I was definitely behind. So when I got to Mount Olive, I knew, I was like, oh shit, I was like the worst one out. I was last one to finish. The runs, like core exercises, I couldn't do them. But you know what? I couldn't do a single pull-up, but I stayed at it. And by my end of the first year, I could do 10 pull-ups, and by the end of my time at Mount Olive, I was one of the strongest guys on the team.
It's a wake-up call.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's either, are you going to answer it or are you just going to decline it, turn the phone over? And
exactly. It's an opportunity, like you have an opportunity to make a change, and either you can do it or not do it. It sort of sucks sometimes, like going through it.
Yeah.
And you might not want to go to the gym or do this, but you just got to be disciplined to put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. And how was your career at Mount Olive? How'd you like the environment? Talk to me about like the conference, like just the experience you had there. And dude, were you, I mean, you grew up in Canada, you came to the States to play, and what was that like?
So when I got to Mount Olive, the baseball was much better than anything I see in Canada. Like in Canada, we don't really have full seasons because it's cold all the time, so we don't play as many games. So coming to Mount Olive, it was definitely a a wake up call, and I was behind a little.
Yeah.
I had to put in more work. What was the question again? Sorry.
Tell me about your career. Did you play a lot? Were you the guy?
Yeah. So my career is sort of ups and downs. First year I got redshirted, then sniffed the field. My second year.
Oh, let's hold it there.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
How was that, dude? Like, thinking about this, like I was luckily never over 2.5 hours away from home for college. My freshman year I didn't play much, and I've been there. It's just like you're contemplating life. You're like, dude, what am I doing? Like you're in a different country. You're going somewhere for the love of the game, and now you're like, damn, I'm getting a red shirted. Like, what was going through your head?
Honestly, the red shirt didn't really affect me.
Yeah.
I knew I was behind, and I had to put in some work to get better. And like I viewed it as like a more of a development. Like, okay, I'm here, I'm gonna get better. Like I'm out of school. They had a good scholarship like for school for me. So I took it, and I was like, I'm in the States, which is good competition, good coaches. Mount Olive is a great program, top 25 school every year, and produces, I think there's 36 draft picks who came out of there.
Yeah.
And one year I was there, 6 guys on our team got drafted.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Just like being around like such talented people is awesome. It definitely pushes you further.
And it elevates your game though too, right?
100%. If you're the biggest fish in the tank, like in a small tank, once you get into the ocean, you're gonna be eaten alive.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it's important to like find people who are better than you and try to train with them.
Yeah. So all right, after your freshman year, you're like, all right, you took this as an opportunity to develop, be better. What's your redshirt freshman year / second year of college looking like?
So second year, same sort of situation. I didn't really have a lot of at-bats. I might have had 10 at-bats all year. Didn't, obviously not what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was the reality of the situation.
Did you think about
not that year, but the following year I definitely did.
Yeah.
But like in the back of my mind, I always knew if I got on the field, I'd be able to perform.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? That same mindset, like you said that all the time last year. And you know what I'm saying? And we keep saying this. And I think this is not just for you. This is not just for me. This is not for the regular day person, but you get that opportunity. You got to know that you're going to dominate. You kind of can't you got to be always prepared.
You got to be prepared, and I could like see it. I just like the law of attraction and seeing stuff.
Yes.
Like it was real. Like I knew like college, I had ups and downs. I fighted to be a starter.
Yeah.
I got some playing time, didn't get some playing time, but it is what it is. I didn't play a full season in college.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Yinzer, played a full season, hit like 11 bombs, about 350.
Yeah.
Was pretty consistent. So I just knew I could do it, and definitely had the talent to perform and put up pretty good numbers.
Did you play 3 years or 4 years of college ball?
So I was in college for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I played. So I started my third year.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was like off and on still. And but by the end of the year, I was starting every game.
There we go. Now,
so
what was the breakthrough moment? Everyone has like a breakthrough moment that, especially like, and I always say this to a lot of people, like the lineup in the beginning of the season is never the same at the end. I mean, that's what I said to myself a month into the Yinzer, and it's July, and I'm just like, it's like we're gonna crack it. So for you, your third year of college, you're thinking about transferring. You don't know what's the ordeal. What was that breakthrough moment for you?
The thing is with college, like the coach's job is to win. So if you have a bad game and you're not the guy, you're gonna get pulled, and the next guy's gonna go up. So if you have a bad game, like you're sort of always on their toes. It was at my school, but it is what it is. But definitely, I remember when I had a chance to play, I knew that I didn't want to come off the field. I would be standing out there on the field during the anthem, and I'd remember what it felt like to stand like on the sidelines.
Damn.
Just like not playing, be like, damn, I wish I was out there. but when I was on the field,
Just
you know,
free goosebumps. It's just something about being on the diamond, brother.
absolutely. It's baseball, man. You play it. It's fun. You got to play. You have to get the reps. You got to get at bats.
Yeah.
It's
No
tough
doubt.
coming off the bench and you know, putting up numbers. Like it's hard in MLB. You know, there's not to get like a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Like it's a hard role to play for sure.
Like Joey Gallo, dude, that
There we
like,
go.
kid's a stud, but just couldn't find it with the Yanks.
Yeah.
It's just it's a crazy game. It's a crazy life. It's a crazy game. All right, so third year, you become the starter towards the end of the season. How'd you guys do? Did you guys make a run? Is that the year with your 6 draft picks or no?
I believe that was the year with our 6 draft picks.
And what position were you primarily playing?
I was playing third base.
Okay, the hot corner.
Yes, sir. We won the conference that year, but
How
we
was
didn't
that?
make. It was awesome. I mean, our team wins it a lot, so
Yeah,
but it was definitely awesome to be a part from it a bit. Especially, I know my freshman year we won it too, and we were down and we had to win a bunch of games to come back, so that made it even sweeter.
no doubt.
This one we sort of dominated right up from the get-go.
Let's go. Let's go. And you got your opportunity. So now your 4th year / 5th year. That's probably right before COVID, right?
Right. Yeah.
So talk me through that. You're coming in. You were at the end of the year
Well,
starting.
we actually had a coaching change. So my assistant coach became the head coach.
Oh wow.
And yeah, so a couple things got moved around and I was sort of stuck battling for that starting job that I thought I earned from that last year.
Damn. Okay.
But it didn't happen. I mean, you got to earn it, right? Too.
Yeah.
We had some good players, and you got to go out and perform.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So senior year, was that all right, or did you kind of get lost in the sauce, or?
So senior year, I remember I went home for Christmas and I started hanging with this coach, hitting coach named Doug McKean, and he completely changed my life and how I viewed hitting.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's dive into this.
So his approach is centered around like the mental side, not the mental side, but he deals with neuroscience.
Oh, I love
and
that.
How we can basically have our best swing show up in the game. The game is the ultimate measure of a baseball player, right? So you could be in the cage hitting bombs, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be hitting well on the field.
Yeah.
Right. So his training is meant so you have a system in place to go to that helps deal with pressure, anxiety, keeps you calm. And when you're calm, you have access to your fast twitch muscle fibers, right? And better things happen. That's what happened in the Yins, you know, when I was calm and relaxed. That was built over time, you know, through experiences. There's different things to slow down breathing. Like I have a plan. It wasn't just willy goolly, do whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah. It's not like you're right though. I saw like the smack James Smibirt that raked, but no one saw all the work and preparation that you did with your guy, you know, throughout those 3 years almost. And it's funny, before I forget, like I remember the first day I met you, and I'm like, I'm the 3rd or 4th string catcher in the Yins. You know, we got like 3 catchers in front of me with like pro experience and like Division I experience. And I'm just like, you know, just coming from a college season, it's like hard to get into that transition of not playing. And I'm like, I'm in the cage and I'm hitting, and then I see this, you know, blonde, long hair kid from Canada come in, and his swing was just, I'm like, what is his swing? Like he couldn't even, it felt like this is the honest truth. You had such a bad round, and then you were just so calm about it. You're like, yeah, man, just getting the bad swings out of the way. First game, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, oh my God, this guy can rake. It was crazy because I will never forget that, because, you know, me working with so many youth kids, before that when I saw you, and I wish I heard this, you know, 5-6 years ago for myself, you know, you said you were just so optimistic. You were so neutral about having a bad round in BP. You didn't like slouch. You weren't like pissed off. You were so you acted like a pro, and you're just like, oh, I'm just getting the bat swings out. They're gonna happen. Getting the bat swings out before the game, and you know what? Next thing you know, you're going placata, oppo gap. I mean, you're going 4 for 5, finding holes, hitting seeds. Like I will never forget that. It was just like in my head. I mean, I judged you 100%. I'm like, dude, where's this guy from? Canada? I mean, all right, cool. Let's see what this guy has. All of a sudden, hose from shortstop. I was like, all right, left. Then he's a lefty stick with like a really like funky smooth swing, and it's just like peppering baseballs. But like that lesson, like I will never forget, because it's just like you're taking, a bad warm up, but you're not even giving negativity the power at all. You're just like, we're good. It's just
well, Barbetti, how many times? Let me ask you a question. How many times in BP have you had a horrible round of BP? And then in the game, what happens?
Rakes.
You rake. But let's say you had a great round of BP, and in the game, what happens some of the time?
Yeah, you stink. It's like,
you suck.
Yeah. Like what?
That's because you're setting the expectation. You hit home runs in BP. You're expecting to hit home runs. Yeah. If you have a shitty rounds and shit, it's like, oh shit, like you don't know. You have no expectations. You don't know what's gonna happen. You're more locked in the present, because the home run's the future. We all want to hit home runs. I want to hit homers. That's what I want. But the secret to hitting home runs is being in that present moment and being one with the ball. Like you could have the best swing in the world, but if you don't see the ball well, you're not gonna hit the ball. Imagine hitting the ball with your eyes closed. It's not happening.
No doubt.
Right? Tension and anxiety, you're gonna be stressed, more tight, not gonna happen.
Yeah. So
I
love that. So all right, we're out of college. It's COVID, right? Was your first like professional season in the Yins during COVID, or
so during COVID, I went to the California Winter League.
Oh,
I could have went back to school, but I said, no, I'm going to the California Winter League. And before actually going, I signed to Trois Rivières in the Frontier League.
Okay, cool.
But unfortunately, the season got canceled because of COVID, and I didn't play that year.
Yeah.
Which was obviously disappointing, but I really took advantage of it. At this time, like all the minor leaguers were dropping out. They cut all these minor leaguers. Me and my friend with the Yankees, we'd hit every day, get our reps in, and I really had a big jump during that year, before the ends. Like I took baseball, I went all in on baseball, and good stuff happened.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. And in anything, you go all in, good things are bound to happen. But you can't expect it. You got to be in the future. I mean, you got to be in the present. You can't be in the future.
Exactly. We don't want to dip our toes in the water. We want to jump on in to the water. Just get on in there.
Dude, if you're hearing this and you're contemplating on something, don't put those toes in the water. Jump right in. I love it.
All right.
Now,
also during that time of COVID, like I started a personal training company.
Yeah.
And I was training out of some gyms like in my area with baseball players and such. And I basically took them all and I brought them to my house, and we would train together. We'd lift, work out, hit. We had live ABs. So I really took advantage of it. We scheduled random live at-bats at parks.
Yeah.
So even before that season, I had like 200, 300 bats.
Yeah. 400
at-bats, like before anyone.
Just creating an environment of alphas to become better. Like I love that. Surround yourself with like-minded people and where you want to go, not necessarily things that are going to draw you back.
Absolutely. And in that group we had a pitcher. He's with the Rangers now.
Love
pops
that.
100. Another position player, he just got drafted this year, fourth round, baller, hits tanks. It was nuts, and everyone that came got better, and it was a great environment where each of us pushed one another.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for that and was happy to be a part of that.
Yeah. Did you go? I might have missed it. Did you go to the California Winter League, or you didn't?
I did. So I did go. So I got signed before the California Winter League.
Yeah.
And I And then I'm like, I asked my coach, like in Three Rivers, I asked him, hey, can I still go? I still want to go get at bats before the season. He's like, yeah, for sure. Have fun. Get them all.
Yeah.
Get all the bats you can get. So I did that. Our team was the worst team, but we were the last ranked team. And come playoff, we made a run and we won it all.
No way.
And I had this one at bat. It was against the first place team in the playoffs. And I hit out a home run, go ahead home run, 2-run shot to go up, and we ended up winning.
Let's go.
But in my basement, in my garage, and at my facility, where I was hitting, I'd be like this. I'd visualize shit. I'd visualize this moment. 3-2, California. I'd yell in the facility, California Winter League, game on the line. All the scouts and fans watching, right? And then the pitcher would come and boom, I'd do it in practice.
Yeah.
And then I shit you not, that moment came up exactly in the Winter League. And I just said I just laughed. I just had a chuckle. I'm like, this guy's screwed. Like saying, you know, bomb, right center. See you later.
Bomb. That's fire.
That was electric. That was that was a great moment for sure.
One of the best memories you'll ever remember. And that's what, we read the same books, we listen to the same people. Tim S. Grover always says that stuff. He's like, and especially in his new book with winning, like he's just like, just visualize. Like you don't success isn't an accident,
No. Your brain can't tell the difference between like reality and what you like think about.
Damn.
There was this golfer actually, just a regular Joe Schmo golfer.
Yeah.
And he loved to golf. He had a shitty score or whatever, but he went to prison and got locked up for like 10 years. And every day he just practiced playing golf and visualize like round of golf every single day and like the ball going in the hole and different things. And he came out of the prison, got on the golf course, and his golf score dropped by 20 to 30 points.
Oh my gosh. He had no clubs, no
clubs, no nothing. He was in a jail cell, just visualizing. That's like the power of your brain. It's crazy.
Yeah. So what are some mental tricks, some mental cues, some mental habits or routines that you do now? Because, I know you probably, you're looking for a job and it's tough and the market is so competitive right now in pro ball. What are like some habits that you've developed or you would tell someone that's listening to this or a college kid, wherever the case may be, that gets you to that spot?
So, breathing is a big way to, calm you down and get you locked into the zone. I read this book. It was The Way of Baseball by Sean Green. And that sort of changed my life in a way, my hitting career.
Sean Green, let me pause you there. Where's he from? Is he a pitcher?
No, he's a hitter from California. He was played with the Dodgers, all-star. Skinny guy, had juice to center field, drop bombs, and it was just like his story and how he went about things.
Yeah, you read that book.
It's a great book. I'd highly recommend people check it out.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I took from that you can put to work it was like team meditation. So you take a ball, you put it on the tee, take a deep breath, get into your stance, take a deep breath, load, take a deep breath, swing, take a deep breath, and then take another breath, take a ball, and repeat that process over and over and over.
So 4 breaths.
So every time you do something, you're taking a breath, and your thought process is you don't want to be worrying about mechanics during this drill, or you don't care about the results. You're trying to dissociate from the result, but you're just basically what you're training is to have your brain go quiet.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's like a meditation.
Yeah.
But you're doing something. You're hitting a ball. It's not just like you're lying down going humbaya.
Yeah.
You're not. So
No, but
I
still,
definitely I add that to your routine. I think it's good and it takes discipline because sometimes when we get in the cage, we just want to work on our swing and work on,
yeah.
exit velo, and which is fine. There's a time and a place, but I definitely recommend this, and I found it translated into the game really well.
And nobody's really doing that. Like if you look at the people who are focusing on the stuff that really doesn't matter, which is like the results and what's happening, rather than like that mental game, like talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. How are you going to do?
I mean, that's going to be the separator too going forward. Like you have minor leaguers who hits absolute bombs. The 5 o'clock here, that's 500-foot bombs in BP. Like they can hit. They can drop tanks, but they get in the game and they can't hit water if it fell over the lake. So like that mental game is so important. Everyone says baseball is 90% mental, but no one does anything to really work on it.
Yeah, dude.
Or has it.
No, I agree. It's just and it's like you practice daily or you practice 4 or 5 times a week. Do you have a routine to get your mind right before that practice? And if the answer is in most aspects of this game, it's no. It's just I hear it all the time with like even like 9-year-olds like oh, I suck. I like make them go run because you can't have that. You're literally building habits for your future self to fail, and like that goes with everyday life on an everyday person.
100% agree.
Yeah, dude, this is I mean, I feel like we could just keep going. So all right, let's wrap up your pro career. So we get to we get to the Yins, right?
So we get to the Yins. We're playing out of Washington Wild Things ballpark, grinding it out. I'm actually living with fellow Canadians, 4 or 5 Canadians.
Yeah.
We found a little apartment, no AC, 100 degrees at night, like going to bed, 105 degrees.
No car.
No car, no nothing. Like,
oh wait, let's pause though. Let's pause. I really want to talk about this because I have a really good story about it. Before the Yins, you're out in with the Ogden Raptors out in Utah.
Yeah.
I when the time is right, I'll say my part of the story. But how'd you get out there? What walk me through that? Because dude, it's a beautiful ballpark. I think it's a great league. That was my dream league to get into. And how'd you get there? What was the hunt? Why were you there? And what like walk me through it. Be real, if the tears come, the tears come. I'll be right here. I got some tissue somewhere,
Yeah. So that was the year COVID sort of screwed up my plan with Three Rivers because the season got canceled with them. So I ended up going to the Frontier League tryout. Didn't perform how I really wanted to. And for some odd reason in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get drafted anyways. Like,
yeah,
I'm just going to wait around and see what happens. Anyways, time came, didn't get drafted. Nothing happened. I was like, fuck, because I had a flight to Ogden to Utah because there's another tryout the next day and I canceled it because I'm like, yeah, I'm getting drafted for sure.
No way.
So then I'm like, shit. So I didn't do that. So I immediately, after the ceremony of them picking who got selected, I found another flight, ripped it to the airport, and got on a plane right away.
Really?
And ended up in Utah next day. But tired as fuck, like,
Yeah.
And don't really know how to get around or where the place is. Yeah. I remember dragging my bags. They had these scooters, the scooters you can ride around the city.
Yeah.
So I was driving those around, just grinding, trying to figure it out. But I get to the place, the trial, and I go off. Like, I was playing outfield, infield, have a good arm. So my arm was definitely one of the strongest there, if not the strongest. And hitting the ball was just flying. I had a great BP.
Yeah.
Hit like 5. We had like 10 swings. I hit like 6 or 7 balls out.
Let's go.
And yeah. And they're like, hey, like we want to pick you up and give you an opportunity and you can stay around. be with us. I'm like, all right, sweet, let's go.
Yeah.
So I ended up there. They got me a host family, and since I'm Canadian, we're trying to get a visa.
Yeah.
And it just didn't end up working.
Yeah.
But I was there for a month, just practicing with the team, taking BP, ground balls, outfield stuff, and just sitting around. And I'm like, this ain't it. I gotta go play. You have to play the game.
Yeah, training is great, but you need the games.
So, I mean, I was comfortable too in Utah. I had a great field. A good setup. They were offered. I had a job. Like they were getting me a job. But it just didn't. I had a host family, everything, a great setup. I was in Utah, it's beautiful mountains.
Yeah.
But coming down to it, like I'm trying to play baseball, right? So
didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right, so I had to trust my gut. Hit up Joe Torre.
Yeah.
And he actually texted me, said, "Hey man, like I'm not interested in you."
Really?
I'm like, damn. But I knew some of my Canadian friends were already there, and they're telling me, "Bro, just fly here and come. Just don't worry, just fly here." I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So whatever, I bit the bullet. I just flew there, and I guess news came around, and I remember that I walked in to go meet Joe Torre for the first time at the President's Pub in Washington. Shook his hand. And he immediately, he heard I was there, and I mean, he was interested, and he talked to my former coach who signed me at Three Rivers, and basically looked him in the eye, shook his hand, and said, "I'm ready to go. I'm good to play tomorrow. Here's money. Let's do this." Shook his hand. Next day I'm playing.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. I can't. You remember the story that I told you when I sent it to Utah and went to that tryout, and I saw like a Black Sox pitcher there, and he remembered me, and we were talking. And he's like, "Dude, this? I don't know this guys." He's like, "He was from Canada, dude. He had a hose, but dude, I was on the practice squad, and he hit a ball that is still screaming past my ear to this day." And the kid and he was actually saying like, dude, Ogden could not believe they did not try to sign this man. And I'm like, was he a lefty hitter? He's like, yeah. He's like, was he smooth in the infield and had a cannon? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, is his name James Smibirt? He's like, that's the guy. He's like, how is that guy doing? I'm like, the kid rakes. That's how he's doing. I couldn't believe it. I don't know, wherever Pittsburgh to Utah, however far away that is, and I'm talking about James Smibirt at a tryout, literally demolishing baseballs out in Utah. And I'm like, I can't get away from this guy.
That's right. I mean, we had some good times together, Barbetti. No
doubt.
On the baseball field, off the baseball field, definitely growing from you.
Yeah.
Definitely a hard worker. So.
No doubt, dude. I wish you the best. I really, taking your time out of this day to, not only just inspire me and make me learn as a person, as a coach, but just inspire kids that are going to be watching and listening to this, because, baseball is such a hard game, but it gave you opportunity. It gives us reasoning to life, because it's a beautiful game, but without a good head on your shoulders, I mean, this game can really eat you alive, Before we go, though, talk to me about JS Training and how can kids, follow you on the Instagram or, try to pick your brain or even if you're training kids remote, how they can reach out and talk to you? Do you have an Instagram? Shout it out right here so we can get.
Yeah, so I have an Instagram. I do personal training stuff. I work with a lot of athletes. I send programs out. I worked with a full high school organization, some pro guys here and there. But yeah, so I have an Instagram. The best way to reach out is just hit me up on Instagram. It's JS_training1. And that's go follow it, guys. Hit me up. Anything you want, like let me know. We're here to help, you don't have to buy something. Even if you want to just talk, let's do it. No pressure.
Yeah. It's an open community.
We're in this together, we're all trying to get better. We're all trying to improve. Like if I can help someone, like
No
let's
doubt.
do it.
No
That's
doubt.
why I started, you know, to help people, and you know, and I love it. I love baseball, and I've really found that working out, it really helped me separate and get better as an athlete. So
Yeah. And just surrounding yourself, like we said before, surrounding yourself with like-minded people to grow to that next level and never be satisfied of where you're at. I love
yes, sir.
it. James Smibirt, man.
Yeah, Pete. Schmack, baby.
Smack, Canada's finest. There's nothing much but the smack to the schmack. I appreciate you all listening and watching and tuning in. Please hit up JS_training1 or Walk Off Talks, and we can lead you to the direction of the king of schmack. Kid rakes. Kid has the best mental side of the game, and you're just going to want to pick his brain and be around him to get your game to the next level. And we are out, yeah. Peace. Woo! Make sure you hit that subscribe button because you don't know who's going to be on next. Like, comment, share this video. Next time, we're going to walk it off.